What's up, everybody? Welcome to Sit Down. I'm DJ Sixsmith. Special guest in the building. It's Ralph Macchio. How are you, man?
Great. Thanks for having me, man.
You got it. Pleasure to have you here. First of all, congratulations. Season 2 of Cobra Kai now out. Must be pretty fascinating for you to see how this has all come together.
It's been incredible. It has really been beyond expectation, the response to the show, both critically and from the fans. Like, I knew the fans were out there. I mean, I've walked in these shoes for 35 years. LaRusso kind of hovers by my side.
Just a part of your life, no matter what.
Just a little part of my life. But just to see how everything came together and it struck a chord for everybody. I mean, it's really to balance that nostalgia with the heart, the soul, the humor, yet tell a story that is relevant for today. I credit John, Josh, and Hayden, our creators of the show, and their ability to listen and collaborate, but yet be steadfast on their vision. They are the 3 biggest Karate Kid fans you'll ever meet.
Yeah, so we met the guys yesterday.
Yeah.
Take me back to when you first meet them. They come to New York. They pitch you this show. What were you honestly thinking when they first pitched it?
Yeah, it's amazing. They said, we want to do the show called Cobra Kai. And it was like kind of a punch to the gut. Because, like, those
I've been going against these guys my whole life.
My whole life,
yeah.
at least. And actually, Hayden led with the theme of bullying. He said bullying. He was trying to, I could tell he was like, let's hit Macchio with the themes and then tell him we're going to call the show Cobra Kai. And so it took a couple hours. It was a big pitch. I mean, it didn't take a couple hours for them to pitch the idea, but then the discussion afterward, my main question was, they pitched it as a comedy. I said, where's the funny? How is this? And that was one of the things we heard from every network we went to. It was the tone. People had trouble wrapping themselves around the tone. Is it a comedy? Is it drama? Is it family? Is it heartfelt? Is it tongue-in-cheek? Is it? And the answers are yes, yes, yes,
all the
yes,
above.
and yes.
Yeah.
And these guys were able to do that. And but I just had an instinct about them. They knew more about the movies than I ever did, still do. They know every frame of all of them, and so they're just the right guys. And they said this to me. They said, we want to make a show that the fans want to see, and yet make something that if you've never seen the movie, you find the story compelling and gripping, and you want to go along for the ride. So, and that's what's happened. There are people they're a younger generation that may be back into the Karate Kid by watching Cobra Kai and then all of a sudden checking out the movie. Yes, the lion's share are the people that know the movie and then come to the Cobra Kai party. And it's a true continuation, yet it's so different. This is a Miyagiism, different but same, right? Because Cobra Kai dives into the gray areas of these characters, and each episode your allegiance may change who you're rooting for, because there's flaws in all the characters, including the younger generation cast, which is so great in the show. Whereas in Cobra Kai Karate Kid was clearly very black and white, good over evil.
Right. Yeah, it's like a totally new look at Johnny to see what kind of guy that he is.
Right, you find these demons of this guy that he can't get out of his own way, but yet he's really trying to fix stuff.
And the stuff with the kids, too.
Yeah.
You know, there's like a whole storyline with what's going on with their generation.
Yeah, no, it's important. It's important for the longevity. I mean, we're hoping we get to do this for several seasons, if not many, you know, so having it working on all those levels. With the high school world as well as the Johnny Lawrence and the Daniel LaRusso world, it's important.
Definitely. So for somebody like you that's been in the industry for such a long time, here we are in 2019 on YouTube Premium, different types of budgets. So what's the biggest difference in terms of shooting stuff now compared to back in the day?
Well, number one is film is not, now everything's digital.
Right.
So there's the speed of digital, which is good on one hand, and not so good on others, because you wind up shooting like thousands of hours of stuff when you don't. When film, you're paying for, it's $1,000 a magazine, $1,000 or $1 a foot, basically. So the speed of shooting, you have to change the film and the camera and all that stuff.
Don't have to worry about that
so
anymore.
That's different. And less lighting times, quicker to light. Although lighting's still important. You still have to know what you're doing to make something look great.
You noticed the lighting in here when we came in?
Yeah, nice.
Not too bad, right?
Nice and warm. Nice and warm. It's good. Everything's smooth. It's fantastic. But the difference, when we made The Karate Kid, if I use these two examples, we had a tremendous amount of time with the fight choreography, a tremendous amount of time rehearsing in between every day we were shooting, where by the time Zapka and William Zapka, this is one word, we got to the final fight scene and stuff, that stuff was like a ballet. I mean, we had it, it was precision work. Cobra Kai, they're like, you know, you get like a day, here we're doing a fight scene, okay, put the camera up, you know, don't get hit. You know,
yeah, because like how long is the whole season that you guys are shooting?
We shoot, the first 2 seasons were 5 days an episode, but the episode's like 36, 37 pages. So we're over 70 pages in 10 days, and we do blocks. It's a little too ambitious. We pulled it off. Right. So obviously the people that pay for it say, well, you did it the first time.
But they don't understand the nuances of what you guys are actually doing.
And you also want the safety. You got a lot of these young cast members doing some intense. Season 2 is loaded with some intense kick-butt martial arts. It's really a lot of fun. But it was, you know, we were stretched thin, and hopefully we get a little more to play with if we get to continue doing this. But so yeah, there's a difference in it, and the platforms are different. You know, we are making essentially each season's like a 5-hour movie cut up into half-hour, in easily digestible parts that make you want to keep eating. Totally. Yeah. And whereas a major motion picture sequel would be, you know, all about plot and building to that 2-hour climax that everything needs to get, you know, be bigger, louder, faster, funnier. With a, you know, a streaming show like this, you're allowed to let the characters breathe and dive into, you know, different colors and areas and textures.
And really get to know them.
Yeah, you get to know them, and you get to know that their flaws and as well as their attributes.
Definitely. So why don't we wind things back now? Take me back to life before The Karate Kid. You know, we know so much about you in terms of what you've done, but you know, what was your childhood like? You know, what were you into? I know sports is a big part of the picture.
It's like an Oprah interview.
We like to go deep here on the sit down.
You say it's 10 minutes in and out.
That's how I preface it. It's like, all right, tell me everything about you.
I grew up in Long Island. Long Island, New York, with a capital G, Long Island, and that's still home base. Fairly normal childhood, if you define normal, but you know, I played Little League. I was never the best athlete, not the worst either. Also loved I used to watch the old movie musicals with my mom when I was a little kid, so I wanted to be Gene Kelly when I was a kid. I wanted to be Gene Kelly and Tom Seaver and a pro hockey player.
The combo of the three.
And so, so I enjoyed and participated in all that kind of stuff. Favorite movies growing up were, I would say, you know, the Godfather movies. Raging Bull was one of my all-time favorite movies, definitely. And I got to work with De Niro on stage on Broadway in 1986 in Cuba and His Teddy Bear with Burt Young. That was an amazing time.
What do you remember from that?
Oh, well, it was De Niro's first professional theater experience, and it was a big deal. It was 86 in New York. Karate Kid 2 was in the movie theater. I just had a movie, Crossroads, that was out before that. On Broadway at the Longacre Theater with De Niro, and the Mets won the World Series. It was good.
A great year.
It was a good summer.
We need those good times for the Mets to come back.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm waiting for
they're
that.
I think they're on the way.
Not bad so far, right?
Not bad so far. They have some holes to fill, but you know, you're always in the shadow of the Yankees. I don't root against the Yankees.
Yeah.
But,
2015, I thought maybe we're getting there.
Yeah, maybe we got. Well, that was a good run. We peaked at the right time, and then it's interesting. That year was when the Royals won the thing, and they played more National League ball, and the Mets were more American League ball. It's all good stuff.
Hopefully, hopefully in the future we get some Mets wins. We're dying for it. I mean, 69, 86, we can't just keep talking about the two of these.
I know. My team's I'm a Jet fan too, so that's really a long time.
Yeah, definitely. These guys out here were talking about the Jets jerseys, new jerseys. Any thoughts about them?
I like them.
Yeah, you're a fan?
I like them, yeah. Listen, I'm more concerned with who's wearing them.
True. And if they're actually winning games, right?
They're actually winning games. But
so,
I like them, yeah.
Yeah, no doubt. So Emilio Estevez was here a couple weeks back, and he talked about his Coppola experience. So, like, you know, his dad was in the business. He got to see Apocalypse Now.
Yeah, no, he got to see that Coppola experience.
Yeah, and just blew his mind.
Right.
So for your Coppola experience, what's one little thing you still remember about working with him?
My experience is he created a theater camp for us. for the 2 weeks before we even shot the movie, he created, you know, he would give the guys playing the socias like nicer script binders. They had higher floors at the hotel. They had, you know, car
Real
service pickup.
things.
Yeah, the greasers were, you know, we got just our scripts with like a, you know, a metal loop holding it together, and the lower floors at the hotel and a van with no air conditioning, or, you know,
like,
he was trying to set up the social class differences and then create an environment where we did improvisations and we would go to locations, and you know, he'd give us. He gave me at one point. He gave me like $2, I think it was $2 or $4 to get through the day. And find a place to sleep. You know, and I wound up sleeping outside and covered in newspapers, which is in the movie. And then to a certain point, and then I was like, okay, maybe I should call my agent because I could be killed, and then got to recast the part. But it's all stuff I remember that, and I take that and I move forward with that, because it's you don't always get those opportunities.
No.
And then to watch him just behind the camera setting shots and work with the great Steve Biram, who did the cinematography for that film, which is just spectacular.
Yeah, an all-timer.
It's great stuff, and all those guys. I mean, we were just, there's a kindred spirit there.
Especially at that point in your lives, too.
Yeah, we were all on the launching pad.
Yeah.
Who knew?
No doubt about it. So when I look at your career, you've had these great times where people are greenlighting stuff and you're rolling. You've had times where you've mentioned it, like people aren't taking your calls back. So how have you managed to find consistency in the industry?
It's not, you know, it's consistently inconsistent.
I think that's the best way to put it, honestly.
You know, and there were certainly some lean years, to say the least. But for me, this wasn't completely by design, but that's when my wife and we had children, and I was there for all of the early stages of that.
That's awesome.
So who would trade that? So it's like by design now I look really like smart and intelligent.
Like, hey, I'm back.
Took that time with my family, kept one foot in Hollywood, one foot at home, and now I have this show in Cobra Kai and The Deuce on HBO, which I play a part in. We're on our 3rd season of that show, and really exciting. They're letting that character build a little bit in this 3rd and final season. Yeah. And then hopefully we'll be back in season 3 of Cobra Kai.
And I feel like The Deuce is kind of cutting through too. So you can have this whole part of your career where it's like, yeah, I've done The Karate Kid, Cobra Kai, but also I can be a really great character actor just popping into different shows.
It's nice to be a nice crooked cop in the 70s and 80s, taking money under the table.
Yeah, not bad.
Corruption. It's fun. I mean, I was the boy next door that you rooted for. Right. Now with these 2 roles, I'm starting to show some flawed
depth,
side.
You know?
It's good.
How about Beer League? Let's talk about that one.
Man, Beer League is, you know, it feeds its audience. It was one of those that came to me, met with Artie, who is, I just think, an immense talent. Obviously, a guy who struggles with some demons, and I'm always wishing him well, because he's an extraordinary talent. And it was one of those things, they needed someone to play the voice of reason. Initially, they came to me to play Manganelli, who was the villain. But I guess I was, you know, they just didn't buy it. And then, but I was on the fence at one point. And but I got to play. So if the film got too like hard R raunch, which it does, but in a good way, I still played the straight and narrow guy because I didn't know.
Yeah, you still had your lane in that movie.
And I still have one of my, you know, I'm in that great diner scene with them when they're just, I can't even say, I can't say it. I'm on CBS.
You know, you just watch the film.
It's fun. I would not bring the little ones. Right. You know, it's definitely a solid R-rated comedy.
No doubt.
But it's one that. You know, a lot of guys come up to me and say, "Oh, Beer League!" Like me and my dad watched that movie.
You're like, of all the stuff you've done, the fact that that one still has legs, I mean, it must be crazy.
I mean, it's pretty much East Coast. I don't hear that too much when I cross the Rockies, but on this side of the country, it's because it's got that East Coast mentality.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's what you do on a Sunday afternoon, Saturday.
And people know Manganelli's in their own life.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
So they can connect with multiple generations of people.
Fun stuff. You got to do one lowbrow comedy.
Yeah, come on. You got to do a little bit of everything.
And it's cool, man.
Yeah, and you've kept your base here in New York for such a long time. Why did you do that instead of, you know, I know you did LA for like a little short time.
I did. LA, I lived in LA for about 2 years, 80 and 81 before The Outsiders, actually. I don't know, I enjoy my time in Los Angeles, but New York is home. Although this last one was awesome because I didn't have to do any shoveling or get stuck in.
Normally pretty rough.
You know, but normally it's pretty rough. And I never understood the whole I'm going to Florida. I'm going to get a house and go away for the winter.
Yeah, you're an East Coast guy.
I kind of get it now.
Yeah, now you do.
I haven't done it, but I kind of get it.
So have your kids enjoyed the show, or like some of your old stuff from the past?
Some of the best part, one of the best things about the success of Cobra Kai is watching my kids cheerlead the show. They love it. They binge watch it with their friends, their college friends, and cousins and family and all that stuff. And sitting there watching the show and watching them enjoy it so much, of something that was such a big part of my life 35 years ago. It's pretty rewarding. They take a great deal of pride in it, and that only makes me, I smile inside now.
A+ dad. I mean, you got that going.
For the moment.
For the moment.
That'll change
Could
in
change.
a nanosecond. Yeah.
Well, Ralph, it's been a pleasure.
Oh man, it's awesome.
Thanks
Thank you so much.
You can catch Cobra Kai on YouTube Premium, Season 2 out there now. We'll see you next time here on The Sit Down.